A reading from the Gospel according to Mark. Jesus left that place and came to his hometown, and his disciples followed him. On the Sabbath, he began to teach in the synagogue, and many who heard him were astounded. And they said, "Where did this man get all this? What is this wisdom that has been given to him? What deeds of power are being done in his hands? Is this not the carpenter, the son of Mary, and brother of James and Joseph, Judas and Simon? And are not his sisters here with us?" And they took offense at him. And then Jesus said to them, "Prophets are not without honor, except in their hometown, and among their own kin, and in their own house." And he could do no deed of power there, except that he laid his hands on a few sick people and cured them. And he was amazed at their unbelief. Then he went about among the villages teaching. The word of the Lord. Now, this is a fascinating reading in Mark, because we tend to think about Jesus as being somebody who can, of course, cure blindness, paralysis, leprosy, even raise the dead, walk on water, and he himself can rise from the dead. We tend to think that Jesus has power unbounded and that no one can do anything to stop Jesus from accomplishing his will. And yet here we have this story where we're told that Jesus was unable to do any deeds of power in his own community, among the people who knew him best. It's fascinating, especially as he's been going from town to town doing these great miracles. And instead of being loved and uplifted by his community, they treat him with suspicion and disdain. So what are we to make of that? One thing that I think about is the story that came right before this. The story where Jesus raised the dead girl to life and healed the woman with the bleeding condition. And this was in a community of people who didn't know Jesus. And he was able to do great deeds of power there. What is it about coming to his own hometown that makes it so that he's unable to do these deeds of great power? I think the clue might have something to do. The clue to this might be that they think they know Jesus too well. They've stopped listening and they've stopped seeing because they are so certain of themselves that they know who and what Jesus is. They know how it works. So sure of themselves they are, such is their certainty that they're unwilling to see where God is doing something surprising and unexpected at work among them. It's not that Jesus is being physically prevented from doing his great miracles. He shows that by healing, by curing a few people. He shows that his power isn't really obstructed, but rather that the people who think they know so much and are so sure of themselves that it gets in the way of watching God be at work in their lives. So it makes me wonder about our own lives. As we go out into the world, when are we tripping ourselves up, getting in our own way because we are so sure that we're right? We're so sure that we see things clearly how they are, that we are missing when God is doing something surprising, inviting us to be a part of something surprising in the world around us. Now, we may be right. We may have all the answers. I don't know. Maybe you're somebody who does have it all figured out. But I would commend to all of us, myself and all of you, that we should leave a little room for the unexpected. To be open-minded to God may be at work in a way that we are not expecting, and to just consider it. If we're willing to do that, then I bet we may be surprised at where God is at work in the world. Jesus himself recognized that the prophets themselves were called to open people's eyes and that they were not welcome in their own hometowns because people knew them so well. So let's maybe not know them so well that we think we've got the answers. Even in our hometowns, even where we are comfortable and sure of ourselves, if we leave a little bit of room for surprise, then I bet God will surprise us. Amen.